All right, so what I want to do now is finish off with one last exercise. We're going to talk about installing high-performance habits into your life. So we're going to talk about what works for people that are the high performers. We're going to go through 10 of the high-performance habits, and they're not the things that you would think. It's not like I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. It's not trivial, superficial stuff like that. It's the real, deeply ingrained high-performance habits. Because what you do every day is a habit, and everything that you do moves you closer to or further away from your goals. Every single decision that you make moves you closer to or further away from your goals. And you have to understand that. Once you know exactly what you want, it's so simple to get there. I always use this analogy of how your vision is really your dream destination for your life, right? That's where you want to get to. And likewise, for most people in here, at one point, your family's dream destination for a holiday was Disney World. How do you get to Disney World? Well, you fly to Orlando, you get in a rental car, and you drive to Disney World. It's a straight line to success. You can't miss it. You can get to your dream destination so simply. It's the same with the vision for your life. If you know exactly where you want to get to, you want to live on this street, in this house, you want to have these cars in the garage, you want to have the kids in this and that program, it's very simple. Here's what you need to do. Here are the steps to get you there. Get a coach, get on this program, get better, do the work, and it stops you from going on detours in your life. And that all comes from what we just did, having that vision and value in place. So I want you to remember this. Make the right decisions right now for your right life. Sometimes the right decision is, yes, eat the chocolate cake. Sometimes it is. It's okay. You'll have those days. But in most cases, it's not eat the second piece, right? The right decision is not to have the second piece. You know, when you go to your mother's house or your aunt's house for Thanksgiving, yes, the right decision for your right life is probably have a piece of pumpkin pie, but not this big a piece, right? So you're just going to make the right decisions in every situation, and you can when you have your values and vision in place. So the 10th habit of a high performer is to get outside eyes on your life, which is what you are doing. Again, remember, 2 ways that we're doing this today. Me giving you outside eyes, having my outside eyes on your life, and you going through these exercises, putting outside eyes on your own life. And there's a third way. You can go and get some from your friends, from your coaches at home. Get the accountability and the outside eyes on your life. Be open to and grateful for all the feedback that you get. Don't resist it. Right? We all want to resist feedback. We want to say, oh, no, that won't work because I tried that and it won't work. I tried it before, it won't work. No, don't say that. Don't put up those walls. Instead, be open to and grateful for all feedback in life. Clear the clutter in your head. Do these exercises with your heart and soul. Get it out. Do some writing. Talk it out. Talk to friends. Don't be isolated. If you need help, ask for it. Clear the clutter in your head. Number 8, get complete clarity on what matters to you. Make sure that what you're doing, the direction you're going, is truly, truly what matters to you. Not because your brother-in-law is doing something, or your mother wants you to become something when you grow up that you don't want to be, or because society says this is the way that you should live your life. No, you're going to come up with complete clarity on what matters to you. And that's the vision exercise that we went through. So you might want to redo it. You might want to go through it again. Remember, this is just a first draft for your life. You're going to come back to this stuff all the time and always make it better. Number 7 is set boundaries for automatic discipline. Public accountability is a beautiful thing. It really is. When I was running my weight loss transformation contests, I started them in 2007. We've run over 30 of them. I've given away $150,000 of my own money to these people, strangers I've never met on the internet. And what they would do is they would post their before photos before they even started the contest. So the people that would win would post the before photo. And when they did that, if they had the courage to post that before photo, now they had accountability. But even better than that is they attracted good people into their life. Man, you got the courage to go and post a picture of yourself, half naked, feeling overweight, not looking good. You know, the before photos are never looking, it's always bad hair day on before photo day, right? You got the courage to do that, you're my hero. I'm going to help you in every single way. People will be attracted to you when you do that type of stuff. And they set boundaries. They got automatic discipline by having public accountability. And they were like, I don't want to be a hypocrite. I just posted a picture of myself half naked on the internet, said I'm going to lose weight. So I'm going to do the things that are going to help me lose weight. And that works in every area of life. I mean, to be honest, this is like a therapy session that you guys paid me for. To, like, instead of me paying you to have, like, you guys be my therapist, you're paying me to let you be my therapist, you know, as I talk all my problems out up here. And you guys are going to see me in a couple months and say, hey, Craig, what did you do on this and that and the other thing that you said you were going to do things on? And so you guys are the greatest accountability for me, and you're giving me automatic discipline. So when I want to go and build a prison around myself that protects me from uncomfortable conversations with other people, honestly, I can't go in that prison again because these people are going to call me out on it. So it's really powerful to set these boundaries. It's uncomfortable, but it's powerful. All right, next, you lean into rejection. Lean into rejection. What this means is you don't get on a sales call and you go, oh no, this person's going to say no to me. No, you go on the sales call and you think, man, I am going to do my best and I can't wait for them to say no so that I learn something from this. I learn and maybe I can just reframe my offer to them and come back stronger and sell them on something. Now you lean into rejection. You look forward to every call. You look forward to every blind date. You look forward to every opportunity to learn. It's not win or lose, it's win or learn. Every single time you learn. So when I hired Shawn Stevenson for that breakthrough day, so there's two Shawn Stevensons. There's Shawn Stevenson. Who knows Shawn Stevenson, the sleep guy? Yes, awesome dude, super awesome dude. And then there's Shawn Stevenson, the 3-foot giant, who is a motivational speaker, amazing speaker. You've probably seen his videos on YouTube. They've been watched millions and millions of times. He has a disease where if he sneezes, he can break a bone. So Rich, you would have broke a bone if you were Shawn. So he's broken his bones over 280 times. And he's a powerful, powerful speaker. But again, he has this breakthrough day. I went and did it with him because I'm always out there trying to grow myself. And one of the things we left with that day was do one thing every day that scares you. And I went home from that. I flew home the next day from Phoenix to Toronto, and I was at the rental car place in the airport getting a car because I don't own a car, and I was driving home, and the guy behind me lost his credit card. So he's saying, I called in advance, and I was going to bring this other car, and they said it would totally work. And they were like, no, we can't rent you a car without your credit card. And he was standing, they would not let him. They was not going anywhere. And I stood there, and I watched it. I'm like, okay, he's going my direction. I'm going right by where he wants to go, and I offered him a ride. And had I not gone and spent time with Shawn, I probably would have been a dick and walked out and left him standing there, But instead, stranger gets in my car, we drive home, I drop him off. I don't even remember his name. I don't even remember his first name. We had a great time. We talked for an hour, and you know what? It wasn't as bad as I thought it would have been, right? So it's every single day. It was great. He was a really nice guy. And so every single day, I'm not able to give a ride to a stranger every day, but I'm able to do something that I don't want to do. Like today. There's a lot of things. Doing a lot of things today. Let's just put it that way. All right, so I want you guys to have that same mentality. What can I do? What can I do to push myself outside of the envelope? Lean into rejection. Lean into that thing that scares me. Because that's what high performers do. They don't hide. They don't hide in a bubble in a comfort zone. They do push the envelope. You master self, environment, and time. So most people, if they think of 10 habits of highly effective entrepreneurs, it's, get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, drink 2 liters of water. That's one thing, okay? That's mastering self, environment, and time. You master environment by making things easy. It's like classic. If you are addicted to potato chips, don't keep them in the house. Rocket science, right? Rocket science. But listen, you master your environment. You make sure that you set things up so you stay out of trouble and you do the right things. I had an apartment in Denver for about 18 months. I didn't have the internet at home. So I would wake up and I would work for 2 hours because I am as weak and as undisciplined around the internet as anybody. So what did I do? I controlled my environment. Didn't have the internet there. And I was able to write a book and make massive progress in my life. That's what matters. You control your environment. You control yourself. You control your time. And that's what high performers do. Deep work is done daily. Deep work is done daily, even if it's done 15 minutes at a time. 15 minutes working on your number one problem or taking advantage of your number one opportunity, pen and paper, no electronics. 15 minutes. You can give me 15 minutes. Everybody's got 15 minutes. And then that 15 minutes is probably going to expand into 30 minutes, 60 minutes, etc. But give yourself at least 15 minutes to focus on those problems. Man, you're going to make massive progress. You can write a book, probably 500 words a day. You can write 500 words a day if you are an expert in about 15 to 30 minutes. And if you do that 6 days a week, you have a 30,000-word book in 10 weeks. You can write a book in 15 minutes a day when you do the deep work. Next one is your commitment to Kaizen. Your commitment to Kaizen. So Bedros, who will be here tomorrow, brother to me, big brother to me. And he said something at his big event that he has, Fitness Business Summit, every year in March. He said something on stage that, man, I loved the guy before, I love him even more for saying this. He said, constant and never-ending improvement until his very last breath. He always says this saying, never peak. I'm like, what does that even mean? What do you mean, never peak? I mean, like, I'm 42. I mean, I'm at my best, top of my game right now, man. And, but he knows that he can get better every single day. And you can. And it's this commitment to getting better every day. Better in your relationships, better in your time management, better in your skills, whatever it is that you do in life, you get better every day. And you just commit to that philosophy, and it works. Number 2, say no to almost everything. I love this quote from Warren Buffett. I like to post it on social media, and then I think how ironic that is, that I'm wasting time posting this quote on social media instead of saying no to social media. So the difference between successful people and very successful people is that very successful people say no to almost everything. Warren Buffett, people see him on TV, they think, oh, this guy's on TV all the time. No, he spends 90% of his time sitting at a desk and reading financial analysis. And so that's why he's become the best investor in the world. You have to say no to almost everything. You have to say no to 15 extra minutes for a person when there was a contract made that you get an hour, not 75 minutes. Okay, I know you want to give, you want to give, you want to give. I understand that. But that means you're saying no to the next person. You're not giving them their focus. Every single minute you spend reading another stupid email at work steals a minute from your kids at home if you're getting home late. I remember Chris Lopez was I had this conversation with him years ago. He's here, he's at the back of the room, longtime friend of mine. And when I said this to him, I knew that it hit home. He's got 5 kids. Every single minute he's reading another newsletter that just gets him thinking about something off on some shiny object chase, steals time from what really matters in your life. So you have to be brutally ruthless with your time. That's what the highest performers are. They really take control of their time. Number 1, you get no holds barred, no excuses, accountability from somebody that you do not want to disappoint, someone that you do not want to deeply disappoint. And I mentioned Bedros before, this other guy, Matt Smith, who's my business partner of Early to Rise, and my other friend, Joel Marion, and Jason Ferrugia as well. And I would often do things, maybe 5 years ago, be rude with somebody, and they would look at me, and that look changed me. Not words, not advice, not go read this book, the look of death, where it's like, you're being a dick again. Don't be a dick. And that changed me. That totally changed me. So it was that no holds barred, no excuses, accountability from someone that I deeply did not want to disappoint that made all the difference and will make all the difference for you too. So those are the 10 habits of high performers. Totally different than what you probably expected. Accountability is simply the secret ingredient for success in every area of life. You can be told how to go out and create a business, but if no one is holding your feet to the fire, no one's checking in on you and saying, did you do this? You won't get it done. You can be told to go out and sell an amazing home to somebody, but if you don't have accountability on going out and doing the right things, you won't get it done. You can be told how to write a book. Everything's available. We know how to do everything. Lose weight, make money. All the information is available for free on YouTube. Why don't we do it? Accountability. We don't have accountability. And anybody we are accountable to, we don't care. We're all right with disappointing them. So find somebody that you do not want to disappoint. It will change your life. So now we're going to go into the worksheet here. And I'm very proud to say that Bedros thought this was awesome. So we're going to go through this one, and then we will break for lunch. It's a little similar to the gold stars one. So you have red light, green light, yellow light. It's like a game that Jay taught us. Red light, what must you stop doing? Take a good, hard look at your day. What do you need to stop doing? So for me, I realized that I needed to stop my verbal outbursts, my negative tone of voice. If I was to normally have a conversation with somebody, I talk like this, man. It's like, man, it's so negative. I have to really work hard about the tone of voice that I have around people. So I had to stop that. I had to stop my snappy jerk store email replies. Remember the Seinfeld episode where George says, the jerk store called, they're out of you? They were talking about me for a long time. And so, I would write emails. And with email, you should never get into an email argument because you actually have to press send, right? Why do we send stupid emails? There should just be a 10-second lag. You cannot hit send until you've counted to 10. That's actually a rule that I use now, and it stopped me from sending these stupid emails. Stupid emails. I would bug Mark, our web guy who's here. I would send him some stupid email at 4 o'clock in the morning. Why is this thing not updated? What a dick. Why would I do that? First of all, he's not up. It doesn't matter because it's really not important, and yet I'd still send it. And so I had to stop that. I had to stop interrupting people. I'm really good at this. So when you start talking to me, I have to work really hard not to interrupt you. A lot of people do that. A lot of people have that same problem, but I noticed it. I guess if there was any superhuman powers that I had, there's two things. One is falling asleep in cars. I'm really good at that, especially when I'm driving. The other superhuman power that I have is noticing when I'm screwing up. Okay? As soon as I say it, I'm like, I know it. A lot of people, they don't even realize it, but I'm really good at it. Yeah, I guess I've had a lot of practice. Also, canceling commitments. So last year, I made a goal to go out for dinner 80 times with friends and family. I wanted people to cancel up until the last minute 80 times out of those 80 times that I went out, even when it was my best friend. And I also have a bad habit of canceling commitments. So I make commitments that I cannot cancel. So if I ever make a commitment with you, do not let me cancel. And if I do cancel, post it on the internet that I'm a hypocrite because I don't want to cancel commitments. And then finally, letting curse words creep back into my life. So, in my book, I wrote, I don't swear. I gave this up in 2011. It's difficult considering some of the friends that I hang around with. And I'm swearing all the time in my head. I just swore right there. But I'm not, and the other night, I went off. And so I've got to get back on that. So, that's just for me. So you're going to come up with what are the things that you must stop doing. Yellow light, what are the things that are kind of in a gray area that you shouldn't do? So for me, I survive on protein bars and Zevia. And I think hey, Quest bars and Zevia, they're in the health food section. So obviously I'm eating healthy. But I'm not, and I know it, and so I have to cut back on that. Also, dark chocolate-covered almonds, I will not be bothered if you send me some in the mail. Sleeping less than 6 hours a night and thinking I can get away with it. Because I can get away with it, but I know that that's not right. And so I have to really be militant about making sure that I sleep as much as a normal person. And then also I need to stop inserting inside jokes like the the jerk store thing into everything I do. I can't have a serious conversation with people without inserting some stupid Seinfeld reference. And I blame Jay for that. But other than that, those are things that I need to cut back on, not necessarily give up forever, but I need to cut back on. So have some awareness around that. And then finally, green light. What do you need to start doing more of? Again, this is like the gold stars thing. We went through what are we doing wrong. Now we're talking about what we must start doing. So I must live according to my rules 90% of the time. It works every time. See, I put another stupid joke in there from Anchorman, and you guys didn't get it. So I need to live according to my rules 100% of the time. Lean into rejection and do one thing that scares me every day. I have to push myself on this. And I need to become a champion listener. I need to sit there and listen. I'm an impatient person who wants to interrupt, and I have to learn how to become a better listener if I want to serve more people. And then finally, giving out an endless supply of free hugs everywhere. I need to do that more. So at Bedros' last event, I said that I was going to hug 100 people, and I managed to do it. But I put a limit on it, so I'm not going to. It's unlimited hugs here this weekend alone. All right, so you're going to go through red light, yellow light, green light. Get those habits that you need to stop doing, start doing, and think about whether or not you need to kick them out. we actually have one thing that we have to do from this morning that I never got around to. So it's an end of the habit stuff. And so we're going to hand those forms out now and get into finishing off how we are going to help you put the right habits in your day and actually remove some as well. Because I joked this morning about how a lot of people are too busy in their mornings. And I see that a lot. And so we're going to talk about what can you cut. What can you, as a successful person, cut so that you can become a very successful person? Bruce Lee has a great quote. It's not the daily increase, but the daily decrease. Hack away at the unessential. Hack away. Cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it. You got to get rid of it. In order to make something really great, you often have to do less. So that's what we're going to try and help you out with this morning. So up on the monitor right now, you see me going through this exercise. The first question is, what do you need to cut from your morning routine? What do you need to cut? Not what additional meditation or gratitude thing do you need to add. You don't need to add any stuff to it. You're already cramming 10 hours of stuff into 5 hours in the morning. What you really need to do is cut. So for me, it's unnecessary online distractions and rituals. Listen, I have to say to myself every morning as I go to click on LinkedIn, LinkedIn's going to be there later on. My stats are going to be there later on. You guys have all probably gone through that yourself. You have this loop of websites that you want to check. We all do. Social media. And so we have to realize that, you know what, I just slept 8 hours, and all of that stuff was okay for it to be on its own for 8 hours. It can wait another 3 hours, right? Until you actually do something, until you've had progress on what matters. So for me, I need to cut out unnecessary online distractions and rituals. What do you need to cut from your evening routine? Because remember, a perfect day starts the night before with planning, preparation, making sure that you get to bed on time. And that is a struggle of almost every high performer. Getting to bed on time, because you have so much to do. Not only in your work life, but you have a lot of stuff in your personal life too that you want to attend to. So what do I need to do? I need to cut back on having big meals, too late, close to bed, and the dreaded checking email one more time. Anybody here check email one more time? And it's always that time when that's the email that comes in that gets in your head for the next 4 hours. I've been guilty of that a lot. And to be honest, the reason why I put this up here is because it's starting to happen again in my life. I was actually, at one point, I was able to only check email 3 days a week. Then my business changed, but I know that I can do it, and I know how fast you can get through like 50 to 100 emails. And so I have to continue to get back because I've allowed myself to go down a slippery slope of checking email just one more time. It's the worst thing you can do. So that's what I need to cut from my evening routine. You're going to put down what you need to cut back on. Maybe it's, one Netflix show turns into 4. Maybe you need to cut back on that. One glass of wine turns into 4. Maybe you need to cut back on that. Or maybe it's, maybe you smoke too much weed. I know there's probably some people in here who smoke too much weed. That's all right. Listen. But you might smoke too much weed. Remember, I put the words too much in there, not just smoke weed. So, all right. So what do you need to cut from your evening routine? Just be honest, be a grown-up about it, and figure out how you can dial in your evenings. Then who do you need to model? It could be people you know. It could be people that I don't know. I don't know Cal Newport. I don't know Stephen Pressfield. I do know Ryan. And they are guys who are prolific in their writing, absolutely prolific in their writing. Cal Newport wrote Deep Work, and he's like a professor at a university, and he just does not tolerate any of this time wasting that so many of us allow into our lives. I need to look at that as a role model. I need to look at that as to Ryan Holiday, who's also incredibly prolific at writing, cranking out more than one book a year. And also Stephen Pressfield, who wrote The War of Art. Stephen Pressfield has a little bit different morning routine than I do, but he does a bunch of stuff before he sits down to write, and then he just gets into work mode from 9 until 2 o'clock every day. And these, I wouldn't call them heroes to me, but they're definitely role models to me. If I want to be a prolific writer, I need to model these guys. I need to think about getting virtual gold stars from these guys around my routine. So that's what I want you to think about. Who can you model? In the evening, on the island of Okinawa, there are people that live a long time, profiled in the book, The Blue Zones. And they follow something called harahachi-bu, which means you eat until you're about 80% full, and then you stop. That's what I need to do. I love to eat big dinners, but they get me into trouble. They keep me up at night, indigestion. Burns my esophagus, ruins my singing throat. So... which is really beautiful. Just wait. And so I need to model these people. I need to model these people and model that approach to life. Make that a habit in my life because that will help me out. I'll sleep better. I'll wake up and dominate my days even more. And in the evening, so when I go and visit my mother, she checks email once in the morning, and it's really cute. She has a little iPad and like a stylus, and she clicks on it, and it's really, really cute to watch her use this thing. But she doesn't check email again right before dinner and then think, oh, I'll check it again right after dinner. No, she just checks it once. I mean, she doesn't get a lot of email, but she's not very good at writing back to me either. But she doesn't check email at night. She goes and focuses on what matters, which is petting the dog that I gave her. So I need to model my mom and say, you know what, if she cannot check email, so can I. So those are the people that I need to model. And I want you to choose who you need to model in your morning habits and in your evening habits. And so where do you need to get gold stars? Public accountability. If you guys ever get an email from me after 6 p.m., you got to call me out. Call me out on this. I will not do it again. I know I did it recently, but I'm not going to do it again. My only, get out of jail free card is that I'm often in different time zones, so I can just lie about that. But no, I won't. So who do you need to get gold stars from? Write that down so that you stick to these habits, okay? So that's what we're gonna do on this page here. Oh, I actually have some more questions. So who is watching every move that matters? And I asked this to one of my coaching clients who has young children, because your children are watching every move that you make. They're watching every move that you make. And it's not about what you tell them to do. It's about what they see you do. And so your children are watching every move that you make. That might be your answer here. For me, it's you. It's you. I don't want to let you down. Here I am standing up here. If I'm standing up here and telling you what to do, and then I don't go and live my life right, then I have that feeling of being a hypocrite. And so that is, you guys are my accountability. So what is one habit that you can stop doing today? Think of, all those things we wrote down on that traffic light exercise. There was a bunch of things, I'm sure, that you put down. I'm sure there's one that you can stop doing today. It ends today. For me, it's checking email one more time. One more time. I'm not doing it one more time again. And what is one habit that you can start doing today? So when we remove one, we want to put in a good habit in place. So I can also slow down eating, step away from the table, and start doing something else, but not checking my email. So let's go through this page here. What do you need to cut from your morning routine? What do you need to cut from your evening routine? Who do you need to model? Who is watching every move that matters? Who's your accountability, really? What's one habit you can stop, and what is one habit that you can start today?